I'm not the best at Minecraft, and being not the best at Minecraft, I thought, who better to show you how to do MLGs than someone who sucks at it? So this should be fun. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do all the different types of MLGs you can do in 1.17, because there's a few new ones, and some of you might not know how to do them. So if you're falling from somewhere, or if you're planning to fall from somewhere, I guess, use some of these tips. And I'll be doing my best to make this work, considering my skill level, if you know what I mean. So this one's the classic. Everyone knows how to do the Water Bucket Mlg. Basically, how it goes is you're falling, try and place down the water right as you land. So you land in the water and then pick it up. It looks something like this. Just like that. Not super difficult, but some tips for this one are don't spam click. It's much easier if you just wait for the timing. So get the timing down and then do a double click and you'll place it down and pick it up and be completely okay. You can't use this one in the nether. Don't try and use it in the nether. You will probably die and you'll lose your water. Okay, so pretty much the rest of these will work in any dimension you go in, so I might go into the nether for a few of these just to show you how well it works. But this one's pretty well known too. This is a honey block MLG, and it's kind of the same as the water. You place it and then bounce. Not super difficult. My tip for you guys on this one, don't shift because you will die. Even if you place the block down, you'll still die. For those of you who don't know, if you shift on a slime block, then you take damage still. But this one's pretty straightforward. Just jump off, get the timing down, you'll be fine. This one's also pretty well known because, well, it's probably one of the easier ones to obtain, I guess, out of all the different items you can get. And this works in all the dimensions also. It's like the slime block, but you don't bounce. And yeah, you'll take some damage, but it very much reduces your damage. So, not as great as the water bucket, but it does work in the nether. And as you guys can see, it works perfectly okay in the nether. I didn't even take damage because I wasn't super high up. In case you guys were wondering, the slime block also does work in the nether, as you can see. Okay, so the next trick is also pretty well known. You can do this anywhere, and this is the boat clutch. It has been done very many times. I've even done it in one of my videos. It's not super difficult to do, and it's pretty easy to make. So all you have to do is you jump down, place the boat, and get in it. And for this one, my tip, don't spam click because you probably won't end up making it in the boat. And if you already have a boat down, you're kind of set. And then you can ride off into the sunset. Whee! The next clutch is also a pretty common clutch, and this one's the bed. Oh, except, yeah, don't do that. Don't blow up the bed. Wouldn't suggest using this one in the nether, but it does work. As you can see, I did not die from the fall. And yes, I do die from that height. So, wow, I was not expecting that. Let's maybe try that one again in the overworld. So now that we're back in the overworld, we can not need to worry about blowing ourselves up with this one. And this one, it's kind of like the hay bale, so you're just gonna place it down, I guess. It's pretty simple. Yeah. I guess tips for this one, either way works. You can spam click, you can not spam click. Both of them work, I guess. Sometimes. And I wouldn't recommend using this in the nether end, especially because of what you saw earlier. But it does work there, so you can do it if you want. So this next one isn't super well known, but like it's pretty well known. For this one, this is scaffolding, so jump off. I'm sure there are people better than me at Minecraft out there who can do this, because like I said, oh, maybe I am good at Minecraft. It only took me like 20 tries to do that. Jump off, you gotta place the scaffolding. Probably wouldn't spam click, but shift really quick, like a quick shift right when you hit the scaffolding. But it's a tough one to do. Tough one. Everyone kind of knows about this. It's not a super great MLG since not that many people have an available Enderman Farm. Although you should totally build one because they're not super difficult. But this one's just an Ender Pearl. You gotta throw it kind of as soon as you jump. You'll only take a couple hearts of damage, and that's kind of it. As you can see, I'll just throw the Ender Pearl down and I'll be able to make it. I'm 1,000 blocks in the air. I'll be totally fine. Oh, unless I do that. That didn't work so well. Let's try this again. Okay, well, if you're this high up, you want to throw it from a bit lower because eventually it'll get to the speed you're going. See, it's catching up and we're good. Awesome. So that's that one. I guess just don't throw it from super early if you're 1,000 blocks in the air for some reason. I don't know why you would be. So yeah, that one works in all dimensions. No problems with it really. It's a good option if you have a lot of ender pearls. Okay, so this next one, it's kind of, I don't know, not exactly an MLG, but it can work. Brew up some slow falling potions just in case you end up falling off of somewhere, and you can drink it while you're falling. As you can see, I didn't take any damage when I landed, and that was pretty close. Yeah, so you can do that. You won't take any damage, and you could drink it beforehand if you really need to. But if you're feeling like, you know, I want to live a little more dangerously, then you can go with that one, I guess. And if you really want to go dangerous, you can't get much closer than a splash potion. That's pretty close. And you might be wondering why I have a couple more in my inventory. That's because I failed this multiple times, because I'm not good at Minecraft. And yeah, you could throw it against the wall, but that's kind of lame. If you really want to live on the edge, you gotta hit it on the ground, not the wall. Although, that was pretty close. That one's actually a fun one. I've never actually tried that out before. This next one is one of the new 1.17 ones. This one is Powdered Snow Bucket, and for those of you who don't know, you can go inside powdered snow, but it also slowly kills you, as you can see here. But it also makes for good MLGing because it's kind of like scaffolding, except a lot easier because you don't have to shift down. So you can just land in it and you won't take damage. Kind of like the hay bale or the slime block, but you automatically land. And it even works in the nether, so you can do that. As you can see, it works really nicely in the nether. So that's a good thing. It's like a water bucket for the nether, basically. You can spam click or you can do it the other way. I find it easier to spam click just because I suck at Minecraft, but you can do it whatever way you want to, and it works out pretty nicely. Now, the one thing I wouldn't recommend while doing this is wearing leather boots, because for those of you who don't know, leather boots allow you to stand on top of these things. So you could make this like a scaffolding one to where, I don't know, you place it down and then shift inside of it. It's going to make this one a little tougher because, oh, apparently you go down if you're falling. Huh. The more you know. Definitely a solid option for you. Now, I'm not really sure everywhere this one can be used, but this one's using the twisting vine, and it's kind of similar to the scaffolding one, to where you place it down and then you shift. See, right there. So this one, well, I guess make sure you have shears, or like silk touch when you're doing this, because I no longer have a twisting vine. But for this one, you're going to jump down. I would hold shift and then click, just like a regular MLG. So yeah, you can do that, I guess. This one is a little tougher to do. The honey block. I mean, it does reduce the amount of damage you take, but if you really want to do it well, then you place it down and get on the side of it, because that will slow your fall and you won't take any damage at all. Unfortunately, I'm not good enough to do this because, well, you guys know at this point, but I'm not good enough to do this, so I'm not going to spend the next hour of my life trying to do this one thing. What is this guy doing here? Where did he go? Guess we'll never know. He mysteriously disappeared, I guess. Okay, so these next two are kind of tough to do, and they're both pretty similar in that you use them the same way. So the vines and the ladder are the next two. So you're going to place these down on a block that's already there. So as you can see, I've got a block down there, and you got to place them on the side of the block, which is tougher to do than it sounds. Finally. I don't want to admit how long that one took. This latter one is a pretty difficult one. I wouldn't recommend using it, but if it's all you got and there's blocks around, unlike here, then it's an option. The easier one of this one is definitely the vine. As you can see, not too bad. You don't get the vine back, unfortunately, but easier than the ladder if you've got some spare ones and some shears. Okay, so this final one is probably the toughest one out of all of them. And I'm not gonna lie, this one is probably gonna take me a while to get, but here we go. This one's the Elytra. So I guess for this MLG, and I'm doing air quotes because you literally just press the space bar. It's not that hard. You can fly around, do kind of whatever. It's not very difficult. As long as you don't fly straight into the ground, you'll be okay. Or as long as you actually deploy your Elytra. Really difficult, I know. So feel free to use this one for all your manhunts. Again, not a super practical way to MLG, unless you're using it on like an SMP or something. Definitely my favorite way to do it. But you can use any of these ways. You can even use the scaffolding if you really want to. But those are my tips and tricks for all these different ways to MLG. So just in case you're stuck without a water bucket, you can still find a way to MLG with something you might have still. I hope you guys enjoyed, but if you liked the video, hit the like, make sure you subscribe, This has been Seajayfour, and I will see you later. I actually learned a lot while I was making this video. Like, for one, don't use the bed one in the nether or the end. I don't know why I thought that was going to be such a good idea. I didn't realize the ender pearl eventually slowed down. That was kind of interesting. Also, I learned that I'm worse at Minecraft than I thought, considering how long it took me to get the scaffolding and the ladder one. Those took me forever. Whatever. See you in the next one.